Thank you very much. As I said, my name's Stuart Crowe. I'm the non-executive chairman of Ricca Resources. For those of you who don't know Ricca, you may be aware of a company called Atlantic Lithium. It came out of a company called IronRidge. Ricca evolved when we took the Awoya project and sent that in its own way as a separate company as Atlantic Lithium. We demerged the rest of the company through an in-specie distribution to Atlantic shareholders, and that held all the residual assets of IronRidge at the time, and that was 2 years ago. And at that stage, we made an offer to existing shareholders to top up the company, and we raised some additional funding to continue the exploration efforts across the gold and lithium projects that we had within that company. I'll just go quickly here. So Ricca is an African-focused project generator in lithium and gold currently in Africa. We've got a very strong set of assets that we're actively extending, and we are also very active in project generation and looking to acquire additional projects, particularly in the lithium space. As our view is, we've seen all the low-hanging fruit picked off in Australia and now Canada, and our view is the next place people are going to come and look for projects of significant scale will be Africa. So we've been in country now for 8 years, and we have dedicated teams on the ground with exceptional experience in both lithium and gold, but we also have extensive contacts and relationships with government and departments across Africa. So it's a portfolio approach. Not everyone does that, but we have also advanced projects, and we're looking to add additional projects to it. It's an Australian company. It's currently an unlisted public company, and we're currently in the middle of a $5 million raise. That will be a pre-IPO raise. We're doing that at 17 cents, and that's active this week. Look to close that off this week and allocate shares some stage next week. We'll have a market capitalisation at that stage of 32 million, and we're looking to IPO the company on the ASX in somewhere around May this year. I'll just go through the team on the ground that we've got here. Quite an experienced board. Many of these people obviously still sit on the Atlantic board, and we are adding to the team, and we're looking to add non-executive directors. We have an agreement in place currently with a guy who's coming on to join us as a COO sometime later in the year, pre-IPO. We're also actively looking for a CEO to run the project and the company. But myself, Neil Herbert, Len Kolf and Amanda have all been on the board of Atlantic Lithium, which has been a great success, and that was the first project that came out of the portfolio and has gone off to do incredibly well, and we hope to have that in production by the end of next year in Ghana. And then we've got a very experienced team on the ground that we've had running these teams. We've got a team for gold and we've also got a team for lithium in country, and the COO will be based in Africa. So quite an established team with a proven track record of success, looking to replicate that here in Ricca. Just give you an idea, we have had proven discoveries. We've got a very strong team, as I said. I think in total we now have 80 people in Africa working across these projects. We've de-risked the company's exposure by diversifying the projects that we're working on. Some of these projects are quite advanced, and I'll go into those shortly. And we're also really seriously looking at and in discussions with a number of companies with projects that we could look to acquire pre-IPO, particularly in the lithium space, because we see that as a massive opportunity, and that's where a lot of our expertise lies. Let's flick through that. So just to give you an idea of the assets we've got currently, we've got a fairly well-publicised farm-in agreement with Firing, which is a lithium project in Ivory Coast. We've done some initial drilling there, which proved very nice intersections on a project, the ATEX project in Ivory Coast. Where we drilled was an area called Spodumene Hill, which is quite ironic. It's amazing what we found there. Nice intersections, over 60 metres at more than 1.2%. And we're now looking at doing it, well, we're in the middle of an extensive soils program across the wider area because it only outcrops at Spodumene Hill, but the area that we've got under tenement there is quite large. So we're doing a strategic review and soils across that area, which is exactly what we did at Awoya. And as you know, with Awoya, every time we drilled that, it just kept getting bigger and better. And our view is we've got something very similar here in the Côte d'Ivoire. Our most advanced gold project currently is the project we have in Chad. Chad's an interesting jurisdiction. We've got first mover advantage there. We've got a very large tenement area and we have an opportunity to expand that further. We've currently got drilling underway there and we're just awaiting assay results which we would anticipate we have pre the IPO. But certainly the opportunity there and our belief is that that could lead to a very major discovery. And we're really keen to see those assay results because we've done a lot of work there. We've done extensive trenching and it's a very, very large area and we believe it could definitely hold a multi-million ounce resource. We've also picked up in the interim period an area in Liberia where we have drilled, again awaiting results. So we've been pretty active there. And the reason for that and the approach of the company is to continually put money into the ground across all projects and eventually, as we saw with Awoya, one of these projects will self-select to be a company that we can take out in our own right and deliver significant upside for shareholders. Part of our portfolio is other areas in Côte d'Ivoire. One of those projects we would anticipate bringing out a maiden resource estimate within the next month or so. It's a nice project. We did spend a lot of money there when lithium wasn't quite the flavour of the month, but as I've been explaining to people this week, it didn't stop us continuing to do the work on the Awoya project. And then as sentiment shifted in the lithium sector, we had this project that just kept getting bigger and bigger, and it naturally self-selected as a project that we could spin out in its own right. And that's been the success that we've had with Atlantic Lithium. We've also made a couple of strategic investments in other companies. We've got an interest in Tolu Minerals, which is currently just about to list on the ASX. They are bringing back the Tolokuma project in Papua New Guinea. We have a right to double our holding there in that company, and we're quite excited about the team on the ground there and the opportunity that that represents to shareholders in Ricca. And we also have a residual holding in Australasian Metals, which we acquired as part of we vended some of our projects into that company as it listed on the ASX a couple of years ago. It's all about, from my point of view, the team we've got on the ground and the people. You know, as I said, we've got two distinct teams in Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana, specifically with skill sets in gold and lithium. They've been there for 8 years. We've got great relationships, and through that network and through our suppliers and service providers that we use in country, we are seeing and being offered opportunities to assess a number of projects, which at the moment we've got 4 in fairly advanced discussions, and all 4 of those are for lithium within Africa, and we're quite excited about those. Some of those do represent quite large-scale opportunities. And so, just in summary, we are a portfolio company. We're determined to continually expand our portfolio of projects. It's all about a disciplined approach. It's a set formula where we do the work, continually look at new opportunities, continue to spend the money on the ground, proving up these resources. Some of them don't make it, and that's part of the game, but some of them will, and we're actively looking to really focus on these ones that can offer scale. So it's a compelling story in a market now that's got a lot more interest in the gold space, and we've also got a lot of, obviously the lithium market's very hot. We've got great connections, and part of the management, what the management brings there is an ability to take these projects and work with partners, and we can help them interact with the financial market so that we can ensure that all these projects are well funded well into the future as we are continuing to expand and do the exploration work across all of them. Thank you for attending and your attention. Thanks so much.